JJ and Jayla.
JJ, I guess really just the first thing, if take us back through the summer, and a new coach is coming in again, and we kind of talked to him, and it sounded like you were committed to West Virginia through the whole process, but I mean, it could have been very easy to do something else. So just kind of take us through your mindset on what kept you here, and options otherwhere, I'm sure.
I mean, me staying here was just it's a good place to be. Like, I like the people here. I'm not a big person. I don't like change. So just staying here and being involved with everybody else, staying with everybody else that I can with, such as Messiah, Jayla, Kaya, other people that stayed. And the new coach came in with players that just add to our thing that we're trying to do, just make a good season run. So he brought in a lot of good players. So that was one of the main reasons why I stayed here. Just, he was a good coach. He had a good mindset on his head, good things he wanted to do. Like, I'm not gonna say too much about that, but yeah, just he had a good mindset. So I stayed with him, just like I stayed the rest of the year. So it was a good thing. Yeah.
I don't know how much you want to get into this, but I'm sure, like, once the news was breaking that Coach P was moving on, I'm sure there was probably text messages, right? There was phone. I mean, there were probably options. Right? I mean, can you just kind of take us through a college athlete going through something like that, having to make a decision?
Yeah, I had a lot of people texting me, DMing me, like even calling my dad. Like, It was just, for me, it was like, I'd rather be somewhere that I know, and I know what's going on here. I know the people here. So for me, like I said, I'm not big on the change. I like staying where I'm at. So that was one of the reasons why I stayed where I'm at. And West Virginia being so close to my hometown and to Harrisburg, where a lot of my other family members at. So this gives them the chance to come see me play.
So that decision was made pretty early, it sounds like? Yeah.
What about you, Jayla? I mean, I guess you guys found out on the bus ride home, right, from the tournaments when things were going to change for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was unfortunate, having to get used to one coach and then, having to get used to a whole new coaching staff. But, I mean, this school is a really special place to me. I've stayed here through 3 coaches now. So, it feels like a second home to me. So I just really appreciate like my teammates and stuff. They were a big reason why I stayed. And, it just feels like this is somewhere where I want to be and where I want to, finish out my career.
You said 3 coaches here, but how many total systems have you been in now?
Well, in total, this would be 4.
Yeah. So only 1 at the other place, right?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's still 4 different philosophies that you've had. You've had 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, how do you balance that? I mean, you play one way, then you got to play another way, then you got to play another way. Everybody, coaches value things and emphasizes things different. How do you balance that?
I mean, me personally, like, I think for me, like, I feel like I don't really have to adjust my game when I'm dealing with, like, certain coaches. Like, I feel like each coach has different systems, but I feel like, if you're a ball player, you're a ball player. I feel like you can adjust and you can hoop in any type of system.
Your parents were coaches, right?
No, my mom and my dad both played in college. Yeah.
Yeah, so you had an appreciation and understanding for things beyond just being a good scorer. There are a lot of things that go into being a good basketball player, and that seems to show up in your game.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's different ways to, contribute to your team without just having to be a scorer. I feel like the rebounding, being on defense, getting steals, getting charges, things like that. Sometimes they don't always show up on the stat sheet, but I feel like it really changes the game. So, I mean, I feel like there's any type of system. If you can do those type of things, the things that, you don't really have to have skill to do, those are things that, like, you can play in any type of system.
I mean, like, the basketball, it's like yours. When it's out there, if it's loose, you seem to get it. Or you're not the tallest person on the floor, but you seem to get rebounds. Well, where does that come from?
I think it's just something that we all possess on the team, just motivation and, drive and just wanting it more. I think that's a big part of, like, being able to play in any type of system, just being able to play hard and being able to, push your team and contribute in ways that, sometimes you may not be able to control the ball going in the hoop. So.
Question for both of you guys. So, I mean, you guys obviously know, the numbers in the portal and what college athletics are like, the trending is today. So, are you guys surprised that there wasn't a mass exodus off the roster, people transferring, going somewhere else? Or was that something you guys, did you guys get together, talk and say, hey, we're staying, we're going to wait it or play it out? Or, I mean, can you just kind of, was there any moments like that and surprised that more, players didn't transfer? Or?
We had a few players transfer, but
right.
We also had a lot of players that stayed within the system and stayed just connected to the school and with the team. So I think we didn't really talk about it. I think it was just like everybody was on their own and just made that decision. Like, we didn't really talk about it. I would hope everybody made the best decision for themselves, but in that time period, the people that stayed, we got them, and the people that left, they left. Made the best decision for themselves.
Seems like you guys all like each other, right? That seems to be the group, the whole team. You guys seem to get along.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think this group, we gelled pretty quickly. Like, we hang out outside of basketball a good amount. Like, so I think just this team in general is going to be a good year, just based off how well we connected with each other so quickly.
But on the flip side, when you have a team that maybe there might be a player or two that doesn't get along, I mean, it can go south pretty fast, can't it?
Yeah, I mean, but I think we have a team that is very focused on all the right things. So I think that when, you're not worried about, outside things and, petty things like that, I feel like you focus on the basketball, you focus on winning. I think that kind of eliminates problems like that. So I'm glad that we have a group where we all are on the same mindset.
JJ, this weekend with the scrimmage, how much pressure is there to run the offense, the little offense that you guys have implemented, versus just going off instinct, learning to play with everyone?
We've been working a lot on the plays. I say I need to get better at a lot of the plays, just knowing where everybody needs to be, like the back of my hand. But, I mean, I'm going to be fine. Like any other game, I'm just going to go out there and play, try to figure everything out as I go. So we got a chance to go out there in this scrimmage and just learn. And just we can make mistakes, but we'll learn from the mistakes later on. So, yeah.
Press, and he said you guys want to rev it up. You guys want to play fast. How's it looking and how is it working?
I think our press looks good. Defensively, we look good. We play hard. Of course, we play fast. We got a lot of girls out there who can just go. And it may not be perfect at times, but we're just out there flying around. We'll get steals, we'll get deflections, we'll get all those. So I think that press is going to be one of the big things this year that'll just put us up there in the rankings.
Mark said he said one of your goals was to be the steals leader.
Say that again.
Mark said one of your preseason goals was to be the steals leader here.
Yes,
to
I
set the
want
record.
to break the record. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I plan on it. I should. Based on the numbers, I should get that. Yeah.
I would think pressing probably helps that, right?
Yes, of course. Once he said we was pressing, I was like, oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
With the full court press, I mean, it's one thing to draw it up on the board and the X's and O's, and it's another thing to actually go out and do it. I mean, it's a lot more physically and durability so working on it. What's it been like, adjusting to it and just how much different is it than, what you guys have done the last couple of years?
I think it definitely helps the game be a lot more fast-paced. I think it gives us a lot more possessions throughout the game. I think we have a lot of players on our team that, like to get up and down on the floor and, create a lot of things, especially in transition. I feel like our defense kind of creates a lot of our offense for us. So I think the press will kind of help us get up there in, like, the point margins and things like that.
going to ask you to do some recall here. What were the things that made Coach Carey mad? What were the things that made Coach Plitzaway mad? And what are the things that make Coach Kellogg mad now? I'm gonna guess they're not all the same. What would drive them crazy? What would be the things that you guys did? Because I'm gonna imagine it's all not the same because they have different philosophies and different systems. What's you get yelled at for Carey?
Everything.
Not so support against that. What about Plitzaway? What was the things that upset her that you guys did?
She wasn't really a big yeller per se, but like she'll talk to you, and you could see like it may have frustrated her a little bit, but she's not a big yeller. She was gonna talk.
What
to
would
you
be some of the things? Just like the things that. What were the things that she said? Like each coach has the do's and you don'ts, and these are the things that really. Like I'm sure Carey was lack of defense, right? That was his big deal. Lackadaisical, I know he used to say that a lot. What was like Plitzaway, and then transfer that to with Coach Kellogg?
Right, just moving the ball more. Just
ball movement for her.
Like yes, she wanted her motion offense to be just in sync, like we were all in sync, and of course moving the ball. She wanted a lot of assists, but for us, I think a lot of us we could go 1v1, so. I think that made her a little upset a little bit, but I think we did a little better going throughout the season, just trying to get the ball moved around, trying to get more assists and all that. So yeah.
And what about Coach Kellogg? What's been the don'ts, the big sin, I guess? Is there non-negotiables he's got with you guys?
He just wants us to play hard,
Yeah.
as hard as possible. He don't care. You make a mistake. If you make that mistake, you better be going at it as 100%, 110%.
So maybe he's similar to Carey in terms of the effort type things.
I think he just wants us to to compete a lot, like especially like when we're in practice and we're going against each other. Like he really tries to get us to push each other a lot. So I think, but it helps us out a lot. So
those are things you guys have to learn as players, right? So you have to adjust and adapt to what the coaches are demanding, right?
Yeah.
Situation like John was talking about, 3 coaches in 3 years. Some people would think, man, that's a major bummer, and I don't want anything to do with that. But now having gone through it, your thoughts? Has it been as bad as what it might seem like to people on the outside? How maybe key things that you guys are able to do to survive through it?
I feel like just having my teammates, I feel like we had a pretty decent run last year, and I feel like we had a good team. We've had good chemistry, and I feel like that was a big reason why some people may have decided to stay. I think that for me personally, I love going to school here. I feel like basketball is a big part of the reason why I came here, but it's definitely not the only reason why I stayed. So I feel like, just the environment here was a big part of the reason why I stayed personally.
And then just us being together, like she said, that had a lot to do with me staying here. Just us staying together and getting a new coach in and just feeding into his system, and never just going backwards. We was always just moving up with him. What he asked us to do, we gonna do it. If he want to change something, we gonna learn it and we gonna get through it.
Well, you're not expecting a new coach next year, though, right?
Hope not.
Plus, you've gotten used to all these crazy roads here right now. You've been here long enough, you know where to go.
Yeah. I got shortcuts down and all.
You got all the shortcuts down, right? Where you need to get to.
I was asking Coach, because I think it's kind of maybe a funny situation, like with Lauren coming in. Obviously, you maybe probably remember when she was at Oklahoma State. Obviously, being in Arizona last year, they beat you guys in the tournament. Now she's on your roster. Do you guys, kid her about that at all? What's it been like having her as a teammate instead of playing against her?
It's been great, honestly. Lauren's a great player, as y'all seen at OSU and at Arizona. And no, we don't joke her about that. We just play. And she's gelled in with us. It's like she's been here for 2 years now. So it's just been great having her and just having everybody, all the new players. Because everybody can play. Everybody got their own thing that they can do well. Everything got their own thing that they can bring to the team. And just having her just opens the floor out for us. maybe we don't have to do as much because she can do those things too.
Seems like he's got a lot of similar players to the way you two play. You seem to be a lot of versions of yourself running around out there. Do you see that with what he's brought in, with what's here still?
Yeah, I think that there's definitely a lot of similarities in our games, but I feel like, sometimes that just makes it easier to play together. I feel like we pick up on each other's tendencies a lot, and, we compete against each other every day in practice. We're not just playing against the practice guys. So, I feel like us competing against each other and, picking up on how each other play, I feel like it makes it easier for us to play together.
Team speed, that seems to be one of your big attributes. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
He mentioned, I can't remember which player was pretty close to speed-wise to you, JJ. Which one would that? Jordan, is she pretty fast?
Yeah, she's fast. She's a quick player.
Surprised you a little bit?
Not really, because I seen a couple of her games from SFA. So just having her come in and basically teaching us the offense and just learning from her and her learning from us too, it's been great. Like, she's a great player, and she's gonna be a great player for us to have going into this season.
JJ, I'm wondering, you've kind of transitioned. You're no longer the young kid on the roster now. So, do you see yourself as becoming more of a leader, or do you want Jayla to take more of that? Your thoughts on becoming a leader, is that something that you want, or maybe you don't want any part of it, or?
I have no choice. I have to become some type of vocal leader, just based off how I play and what system they want me to be in and how they want me to be. So just me being vocal and learning to be more vocal now has been awesome. Like, I've been working on that. I'm not a big talker, so just trying to be out there and just keep my team up and talk to them when it's needed. It's been good, but still working on it. So
you face many challenges in basketball, different stages of your life. Is this maybe one of your biggest challenges?
Yes. Honestly, yes, because like I said, even outside of basketball, I'm a very introverted person. I don't really do too much talking, but in basketball now that I see, like, a lot of the teammates may look up to me in a certain way, but so that just puts more on me to where I need to talk. I need to show them that I can lead them into this season and stuff. Yeah.
You still got to suit your personality, though, right? You can't step outside of who you are, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
My team, just like Jayla, I got Jayla, I got Kaya, who I can lean on if I'm feeling some type of way. Jayla is probably that person who will get me out of that funk and just be like, come on, JJ, like, you got it. So having Jayla has been a great part of this process, just learning from her. She got that voice already. So.
Jayla, you're the first one to speak up.
I don't know. I normally just say the first thing that comes to my head. And I think
Are you the one to speak your mind, though? But sometimes you have to do that. You have to clear air, right, and make it real.
Yeah, I think we have a very healthy environment here because I don't think anybody holds back how they're feeling. And I think everybody accepts how everybody feels and, takes people's feelings into consideration. But at the same time, like, we're here to push each other and we're here to win and we're here to win games. So I think that, being a leader and having our leaders on the team, JJ, she don't say much, but we know when she says something that everybody, we gonna listen. Yeah. So, I think we have a good team. We think we have a lot of people that want the same thing. So that's a fun place to be.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's probably girls that speak up and they're like, yeah, okay, all right. You got probably some of that too. But that's any team.
Yeah.
The point you guys make is pretty interesting. This isn't a team of rookies. There's a lot of players who played in the tournament last year that's on this team. So, with that said, when that Big 12 poll came out last week, you guys were picked 8th. Motivation? Did you guys even look at it? Talk about it? Did you guys even see it? Surprised at all by the pick, or?
I was kind of surprised, but I think we all was just like, forget them polls. Like, we're gonna show them. Yeah. We're gonna show them this year that y'all can't count us out of anything.
Yeah, I think this is definitely not the first time that we've, started out the season in polls lower than where we finished. So I think it's just about, how we execute, when the lights come on.
JJ, this might be a stretch, but
Have you spoken with JJ Weatherholt much? You guys opened any, trying to figure out any NIL deals? Jimmy John, baseball player?
Two JJs, right?
Oh no, I have never talked to him before. But I like his name though. He has a cool name.
He's a pretty good baseball player now.
he is.
Yeah.
It could be an NIL.
JJ
I was
squared.
gonna say, you guys might have something there now.
Jimmy John's maybe? I'm too.
Sounds like there's an NIL.
might be on the
there you
preseason
go.
list.
You guys better talk that over.
Oh, facts.
An expanded Big 12 now, new teams coming in, and obviously the last year for Oklahoma and Texas. I mean, I don't know how much you guys even think about that kind of stuff, but there's going to be some new teams in the league. Just your thoughts. Have you had a chance to even look at any of those new teams, and are you sad to see Oklahoma and Texas go, and then obviously new teams coming in next year too? So.
I mean, as long as we get to play Texas again, I'm good. But even though that they leaving, we'll get other teams in, plan on beating them too. Like, it's just another game to us. We're not worried about the name on nobody's chest. We're not worried about who you are or what's going on in your life. We just trying to go out there and beat you as much as possible.
Very good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.